Welcome back viewers. In today's video, we are going to take a look at the boot managers offered by CachyOS. So CachyOS currently offers the following boot managers, that is systemd boot, rEFInd and the Grub. So systemd boot is part of the systemd family. Systemd boot was created to be simple as possible. Therefore, it only has support for UEFI based system, that is the modern systems. This simple yet efficient design ensures that it is reliable and fast. However, it comes at a cost of advanced features supported by other boot managers. What are the pros? Very simple configuration. Boot entries are separated into multiple files, making it easier to manage. What are the cons? It does not support the BIOS systems. Very bare bones design and lacks any kind of theming or customization. Config is not auto-generated unless configured to do so. CachyOS includes systemd boot manager to offer auto-generated configuration. So that's great on the part of CachyOS. Only able to read boot images on EFI supported file systems like FAT, FAT16, FAT32. Inability to find boot managers on partition other than all. Some famous Linux distributions offering systemd boot as default is EndeavourOS, and even better well-known uh, Linux distribution giving systemd boot as default is PopOS. So systemd boot is recommended and it is the default boot manager for CachyOS. Now rEFInd, that is rEFInd. So this is the fork of rEFInd. So it was primarily made to make it easier for the Mac OS users to multi-boot. However, rEFInd has evolved into being a hardware agnostic, making it great choice for multi-booting on any system. The main draw of rEFInd is the ability to scan all storage devices at the boot time and correspondingly display entries for each OS or kernel found. What are the pros? Auto detection of all operating systems and kernels on the storage devices. Little to no configuration required due to the aforementioned auto detection. Much more graphical UI reminiscent of macOS boot selector. Great theming support, and it is able to read images from the EFI systems like FAT, FAT16, FAT32 as well as ext4 and the ButterFS. What are the cons? It does not support BIOS systems. So during the review of CachyOS, when we'll install different desktops on CachyOS, we will try to use all of these boot managers, and then I will show you across how the boot manager looks, how the functionality of boot manager uh, is available to the users. So rEFInd is the recommended boot manager for booting with multiple operating systems. Now comes Grub. Grub, as you know, is the oldest of the available boot managers and consequently the only one that supports the BIOS booting. So on this note, I would like to share with you that when I was in college, that is around year 2003, 2004, we had the Lilo boot manager. So Lilo is last in, last out. So we used to use the Lilo boot loader in Linux in those days, and Grub came afterwards. So Grub for us was the latest boot manager in our times, and Lilo was the default at that time. So what is Lilo boot manager? You can Google, you will find it. Now what are the pros of Grub? So it is able to read boot images from most available Linux file systems. It is widely used and very easy to find information online. Able to decrypt, encrypt boot partitions. The only bootloader offered allowing it to boot BIOS machines. Looks dated, however, it has great theme support to compensate. That's great. What are the cons? Bloated due to needing to support much older hardware and needing lots of file system drivers. Noticeably slower compared to the systemd boot and the rEFInd. So Grub is recommended bootloader that supports the BIOS booting. So if you have got old system which has got BIOS booting, then you have to use Grub. You should not use systemd or EFInd. You should use this. And also it supports the boot partition encryption. So this is different than the disk encryption. So disk encryption, complete disk is encrypted, while in boot partition encryption, only the boot sector can be encrypted. So it is a separate encryption for boot sector and the your root partition. So in those cases, you can use Grub, where you can encrypt the bootloader. If you remember, in some of my installation videos, uh, I have shown you the option to encrypt the boot partition also. So you can check out. I don't remember right now for which Linux distribution I show you this, but it is there. I perfectly remember that this option I have shown you how to do the encryption of the boot partition separately, separate from the root partition. So we had one system where we did the encryption of the boot partition as well as the root partition. So you need to go and check out all the videos, all the installation videos. You will find it there. So you have to choose Grub if your use machine is only BIOS only. So Grub is best for the older BIOS only machines. Pick rEFInd if planning to have multiple operating systems on the machine, especially Windows. Otherwise, go with the system deboot. But in system deboot also, Windows you can have Windows in a multi-boot system. So that I have shown you how to uh, have Windows and the Linux multi-boot using the system deboot. It's very easy. If you want, I will just one day I will show you how to do that also. I will make a video for that. I think I have not done the video, but maybe I have shared uh, it with you in some of the video. So that's it for today. We have checked out all the available boot managers in Linux, and this all boot managers are available in CachyOS, where system deboot is the default for CachyOS. I think now in NDROS also system deboot is the default, but you can change over to Grub if you want. So that's it for today's video. See you in the next video. Bye bye.